Okay, let's just start it the practical implementation of logistic regression. So our first step is to import all the basic libraries. So import numpy as np, import pandas as pd for reading our data frame, import matplotlib.pyplot as plt for visualization of our data, import cbone as sns for loading our data. So for this particular problem, I am using iris dataset. So let's load it. sns.load dataset iris, and I'm defining the data frame df. Okay, let's just use the head function to see the first 5 rows and column of our data set. So here we have all the column information. We have sepal length, sepal width, petal length, petal width, and species. Let's just check how many output are there in the species. So we have data frame, and in the species column, we have to check the unique output. For that we use unique function. Okay, so we are getting 3 output. But for this particular problem, since I am teaching you to do the binary classification, I will remove one of the output and will only work with 2 output. Let's just remove Sedosa from the species column. So how to remove variable? Let's just do it. So from the df species, I don't want uh, Satosa. So let's just from the data frame, I don't want this variable. Now let's hope it works. Yeah, now just print the first. Before printing this, let me check it if it's working or not. Let's just print this statement again. Oh, it's not working. Okay. Okay. df species is not equal to this. Then okay, I'm doing something wrong maybe. No, am I writing the spelling correct? Okay, spelling is not correct. It's okay if you're getting the error. At least we'll learn something from that. So always use the same spellings because I'm using SA, so that's why I'm getting the error. Okay, now let's just print this. Now here we have only 2 outputs. Now all these Setosa columns are removed from the dataset. Okay, now after that, what is the next step? Since we can't use this as directly output in the string form, so we have to convert it into either 0 or 1. So let's just do it. So data frame species, uh, we have data frame species. For remove converting it, we use map function, and in the map we are defining the dictionary. Okay, just list, paste it, copy and paste it, otherwise the spelling differ. And I'm defining it as 0. Another key value is Virginica. So here I'm putting it and I'm giving it the value as 1. Don't make it a string or in a commas because it will either convert it into the string and we just want it into the integer format. So let's just run it. Now let's just print the data frame. It's converted into the variable 0 or 1 or not. So here we are converted into the zeros and 1 format, showing only the few. Rest all will automatically be converted. Okay. So till now we have import the libraries, import the dataset. Head function is to print the first five uh, dataset. Now we have the unique function. What unique function does is it depict the unique value in the column. So in the species column, I am getting the unique values or the unique output as this. So I don't want one of this because I'm working on binary classification. So I'll remove all the values of Setosa from the dataset. How I removed is here's a code for that. Now I'm again checking it if it is removed or not from the dataset. So it get removed. After that, I use dot map function to convert it into the zeros and ones. And again, I am using dot head function to check the first top five or any five rows of the data set. Okay, so now the next step is that we have to divide our data set into dependent and independent variable. So dividing the data set into dependent and independent variable. Okay. So for dividing the dataset into this, we use ilog function. What ilog function does is that if you don't know or remember any of the function, just go to the Google and check the working of ilog Python function. Read it and get back to your code. So ilog function in a Python is defined by the Python your pandas module that help to select a specific row and column from the dataset. Okay, so I have to divide the dataset into dependent and independent variable. So in this dataset, we are getting the output 0 depending upon these outputs. So in this dataset, we have species as dependent variable and all these columns are independent variable. They have their values, they are not depending upon anything. But these species column, this output depends upon this. So here we have dependent and independent variable. So let's just define x. Now we are using ilog function. So we have df dot ilog. For x, I am using these 1, 2, 3, 4 columns except this column. So for all columns except first column, and for y, I am using df.ilog all data. We only want this column. Okay, let's just see if it works or not. Now I'm printing x. Yeah, so this is our independent variables and these are our dependent variables. Okay, so these all are our independent variable and in the x I define it using ilog function, so I'm getting only this. Now just print the y. Okay, so for the y we are getting our dependent variable zeros and ones. Okay, now what we do is our